Sir, even what
Are you
questions you
able
are...
to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir.
So now,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, actually, your voice is breaking, and I have a doubt, sir, that these questions, what we are solving now, these are also about this topic also we are getting for today's exam.
Yeah. In today's exams, you are getting everything about friction, whatever we have studied.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So there are some topics here which we have still not done. So we'll be leaving those questions. We'll not be doing those questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I will tell you the topic just for practice. So the first question, the force acting between the two surfaces whenever an object moves or tend to move over the surface of another object. So it's called, what we call that force.
Friction.
Friction.
Then, and the second point is that dash is a self-adjusting force. So what do you mean by a self-adjusting force? My question is, what do you mean by the self-adjusting force?
So, what is the meaning of adjusting?
Adjust means it adjusts its value.
Okay, okay, sir.
Sir, like when there's lower friction, it adjusts itself.
So,
Yeah.
when the
Through grip.
friction, like, it gets stops, like it slowing down, the friction gets stops and it just adjusts itself in the place to settle there, to be at rest.
Okay. So to fill up this, we have to have an idea of sliding friction, limiting friction. These are the two topics that we have to do. Sliding
Limiting,
friction,
fric-
sorry,
limiting
limiting friction
friction, sir.
and kinetic. Yeah, limiting and kinetic friction. Just so let us see the limiting friction and kinetic friction. The limiting friction, we call this friction to be the self-adjusting friction or the self-adjusting force. Limiting friction, it is the friction when an object just tend to move. It just tend to move. So that means when the object is not actually moving, but it is about to move. So that friction we call as the limiting friction. Okay. Let us try to see what a limiting friction looks like here. So we have a block. Let's say we have a heavy block here. We have a block of mass, let's say 20 kilograms. So this is a block of mass 20 kilogram and we want to move it. So if we want to move it, let us try to add it or tie it with the help of a spring balance. So we add it with the help of a spring balance so that the spring balance will give us the reading of the amount of force that is being applied. So it will give us the amount of force that is being applied on this block. Okay. So here we have some force. If we apply here some amount of force on this block, so suppose initially I apply 1 Newton of force, then the block doesn't move. Yes, Lasya?
Yes, sir. So, we can expect even in this exam this type of questions, sir.
Uh, in the exams, you will have questions relating to uh,
Like question
dependence.
answer type.
Yeah, the question answer, but they will be generally on the basis of uh, factors affecting friction. Okay, like the nature of the surface. You will have case-based questions.
Like surface, soft surfaces, rough surfaces type.
Yeah. So you will
Sir,
have
will,
generally case-based questions.
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
So
sir,
shall
will
I
they
give you
ask?
some? Yeah. Any doubt?
Sir, will they ask even means how to increase friction, decrease friction?
Yeah, this can be asked.
Okay, sir.
So just let me give you a few for your practice. I'm giving you some case-based question also from this topic. So don't worry. I think all of you are getting worried about what will be there in the test. So let me show you some questions, typical questions for them. Okay. So you are going to get some case-based questions. One minute. Just 1 minute. Okay. So see, 1 minute. It has been hanged. Okay. So you have a passage here. I'm sharing the screen again. Just have a look at the passage and then we can see the questions also. So questions of this sort may come. Like here you are given a passage. The force required to overcome friction at the instant an object start moving from rest is a measure of static friction. On the other hand, the force required to keep the object moving with the same speed is a measure of sliding friction. Okay. The sliding friction is slightly smaller than the static friction. When one body rolls over the surface of another body, the resistance to its motion is called rolling motion. So, rolling friction. Rolling reduces friction. It is also easier to roll than to slide a body over another. Okay. So, for the question one, the following options show arrangement of types of friction according to decreasing order of applied force. Select the correct order. So, what should be the correct order? As we know, see, this is what I was discussing about you with the limiting friction, sliding friction, and rolling friction. So limiting friction was the amount of friction which was applied which act on a body when it just starts moving. That we also call as the static friction. So limiting friction and static friction, they are the same. Then the kinetic friction is the friction which is applied on a body when it is in a motion. So if it is moving constantly with a constant speed, so the friction that is acting on between the surfaces, that will be the static friction. Then you have the rolling friction, which is there when an object rolls over another body. So here in question one, the following options show arrangement of type of friction according to decreasing order of applied friction. So the decreasing order of applied friction, you have the first one as the rolling, sliding and static. Is it correct in the decreasing order? Which friction has to be the maximum?
Rolling friction.
No, maximum friction. Which one has to be the maximum amount of friction?
Sir,
Rolling,
static,
static, or sliding.
Static.
static,
Static.
static.
Static,
Static.
static friction has to be maximum. Then it
Yes,
has
sir.
to be sliding friction, and then it has to be rolling friction. So rolling friction is the least. Okay. So here the correct option will be option D. In the similar way, let's see another question here. You see some other questions. So we can see here only. Let's see. In which of the following case one will have to apply maximum force? So where one has to apply a maximum force? Riding a bicycle, trying to move a heavy rock from its resting place, swimming in a pool, or drilling a hole in a wall.
Like trying
Sir,
Trying to
move a
to
heavy
move a
rock
heavy
from
rock
its
from its
resting
resting
Sir,
place.
trying to move a heavy rock
Trying to
from
move a
its
heavy rock
just
from its
Sir,
resting place.
resting place. Yes, sir.
So why? Why option B?
Sir, because
because
it is rested its place and it's
because
very
it needs more.
heavy, so it is difficult to move from its place as it is heavy, and also it is in its place and its
Hmm,
pressure on the surface.
hmm.
Sir, also
Okay.
moving from a rest position means static force. So static force need maximum amount of friction.
Yes. So starting from rest is the static friction. So riding a bicycle where you are using the rolling friction, swimming in a pool that is a fluid friction, drilling a hole in a wall that is again a rolling friction. So your option B, trying to move a heavy rock from its resting place, is the correct one. Here we require the maximum amount of force. Now see some more questions
Sir,
here.
the before page you can show one, sir. Yeah,
Yeah,
can
just
you little bit
uh,
scroll up, sir?
yeah, I'm showing. I'll show everything. Just let me have some more questions. So I'll be discussing all of them at the same time.
Sir,
Yes.
like rolling static and sliding are three types of motion. How it can be called as friction, sir, types of friction?
Sir, you can little bit
Mm,
scroll up, sir.
okay. So your question is rolling, sliding, they are the types of motion. How can you call them to be the types of friction? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, static situations, rolling situation, and sliding situation, they are the types of motion. Right? They are the types of motion, but the frictional force which act between the two surfaces when an object is sliding, that frictional force we call as the sliding friction. The amount of the sliding friction, the amount of the friction that is there when the object is stationary, so we call that to be the static friction. Okay, and when the object is moving, when the object is rolling, so still there is a friction between the surface, there is a friction between the surface and the roller. So that friction we call as the rolling friction.
Understood. Understood.
Understood?
Understood, sir.
Okay. So here question 3 says oiling or greasing in machine parts. Oiling or greasing in machine parts, what happens? Increases the friction between the parts, decreases the friction between the parts. Both A and B are correct, or all
Sir,
D, that is none of the
Sir,
above.
decreases the friction between the parts.
Yes.
sir, could
Oiling
you
and
little bit scroll up, sir?
yeah, which one?
Sir, could you little bit scroll up?
This one.
Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, in which of the
Done,
following
sir.
case one will have the maximum force? That is B.
Sir, if you
Here
don't mind the
we have
first question.
the option.
Sir, oiling and greasing will
Yeah, the
decrease.
first one.
Okay, sir.
Where? Got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll just practice a few more questions for today. Okay. So here, oiling and greasing in machine parts, it decreases friction. Okay, then question 4 is
Sir,
why
the
static?
first one, it is static rolling and sliding, right, sir? Your voice was
Static
breaking that time.
sliding and rolling. It is
Static
static,
rolling, sliding.
no,
Okay, sir.
static sliding and rolling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now question 4, why static friction is more than sliding friction? Yes. Why static friction is more than sliding friction?
Sir, because static friction means we need more force, sir. For sliding friction, we can easily move the object.
Mhm. Okay. Did you think of that region of cause of friction? Just think of the region as the cause of friction. So what is the cause of friction?
The interlocking between the surface and the object.
Okay. The interlockings between the surface and the objects is a cause of the friction. So when we see static friction and sliding friction, so in when an object is stationary, so in that case, the interlockings are well interlocked with each other. Okay. And when a surface is sliding, so the surfaces, they are not very well interlocked. The interlockings bend. So that is the reason during a static friction, you will have a higher friction, whereas during a sliding friction, you will have a lesser friction. This is the correct answer. You have to explain this in terms of this nature of the surfaces. Okay, that is the cause of friction. You have the crest and crevices. So it is because of the crest and crevices which are there. You have
Sir,
static friction. Yes.
is the exam objective or even they may give question answers?
What happened?
Sir, will the exam be objective like they will give all the questions like options or will they give question answers also?
For today's test, you will not be getting the options.
No, sir, I'm asking about the AITs.
AITs, yes, there are options.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
in AITs, you will have your options. Now,
Sir,
here
I have a
question.
doubt regarding
Yeah,
these exam, like this uh, physics exam, sir. Section.
yeah, what's the doubt?
Sir, we have like these fill in the blanks like that in
Yeah.
this, like fill in the
Mhm.
blanks, one word answer type ones. We have.
No, no, you don't. Okay, in your exams, in your physics exam, you will have 3-mark questions.
Okay, sir.
There are 3-mark questions and there are 6-mark questions.
Okay, sir.
Three questions which are 4 marks, sorry. 4 mark, there are 3 questions which are 4 mark and 3 questions which are 6 marks. So you have 3 times 4, that's 12, and 3 times 6, that's 18. Okay. So you have your
Oh,
total test of 30 marks.
30 marks.
Got it?
Yes, sir. So we don't have here
Yeah.
like type of fill in the blanks or something
Uh,
like objective.
yeah, objective exam you will have next week. It's alternate. One exam you have subjective and one exam you have objective.
Yes, sir. I'm asking like, do we have like fill in the blanks in this?
No, no, no fill in the blanks in this test.
Okay, sir. Just like question answers.
Yes, just question
Okay,
answers.
okay,
And
okay,
all of them, they see, direct questions will be very less. The questions will be either application based or they will be some understanding based.
okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's continue. So let me check some more questions and then share with you again. Uh, Pranava has told about a point about the gravitational forces, okay, about the frictional force. Okay. So he says, okay, I'll discuss with Pranav later. Okay, Pranav, let's start with the questions first.
Okay, sir. Okay. Like gravitational force can apply force when the surface is slanting. So I also thought that the angle between them can also be the point.
See, if you talk of the friction being dependent on the area of contact, okay, so the friction doesn't depend on the area of contact.
No, sir. that is not friction. I'm talking about the angle between the gravitational force and the surface.
Okay, let's see here. You have some more questions. Again, let me share. For this, see this question 4. It says a student rolls a marble on two different surfaces with the same force. The table shows the distance traveled in each trial. Okay, so in trial 1, you have surface as glass floor. In trial 2, you have the surface as carpeted floor. And the distance that the marble travels in the first one is 200 centimeter. And in the second one, it travels a distance of 75 centimeter. Okay. So these are the question is, why does the marble travel greater distance on a glass floor, but on a not on a carpeted floor?
The carpet on a carpeted floor there will be more friction
Yes.
rather than glass floor. Glass floor will be soft compared to carpeted floor
Why? The carpeted
because
floor is
there
more
are
rough. The
because there
carpeted floor,
are
yes,
done on the carpeted floor.
yes. So your
Interlock.
option is also solution is also given here. So you can see the option your first option is because the mass of the marble on the glass floor is high. So that is not a sufficient reason. Second one is says because the mass of the marble on carpeted floor is high. No, the mass is same everywhere. Then C says because interlocking between the surface of marble and glass floor is high. So the interlocking between marble and glass floor is not high. The interlocking between marble and carpeted floor is high. So option C is also incorrect. Option D is because interlocking between the surface of marble and the carpeted floor is high. Okay. So your option D is correct because interlocking between the surface of marble and carpeted floor is high. Okay. Again, see the next one. John experimented to find out different surfaces. So you are given different surfaces P, Q, R, and S. They affect the distance a car traveling at 50 km per hour needed to stop once the brakes are applied. The results are shown below. So you can also assume it to be the different surfaces, or you can say, let's say there are different tires which are being experimented. Okay. So different surfaces are given as P, Q, R, and S, and the stopping distance is given as 18, 15, 19, and 27. So which type of road will provide the most friction for the car to stop? Yes, which type of road will provide the most friction for the car to stop?
So surface Q.
Surface Q. As we can see here, for the Q, the stopping distance is minimum. Okay, it stops at with a minimum distance. So the stopping distance is minimum for Q, and hence the force of friction will be minimum for maximum for Q. Which one will have the which one will provide the least friction there?
Sir, yes.
Sir, P, S, sir, S, sir.
S. The surface S will provide the least friction. Now the same situation here, the question which we did in the decreasing order of magnitude, which of the following is correct? So you have rolling, static, sliding. So it is the decreasing order of magnitude. Which one is correct? So which friction
Sir,
force is higher? Yes.
sir, this is another question paper, right, sir? Your voice is breaking. I have a network issue.
Is this with everyone? Pranava?
Yes, sir, only for me. I have net
Okay.
slow.
Okay. You have a slow net. Charantej, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so Lasya, I think you are facing the network issue.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Now it is okay, sir, for me.
okay, so whenever you are facing, just discuss it after the class with me. I will tell you how you can improve your network. Okay,
Just like
so
just now only
yeah,
it just got up and down, sir.
okay. So for this, the next one is
Till now I
assertion
heard,
and
sir, when you till the question when you're discussing with Pranava, till there I heard, sir. Just now
okay,
it got just like that.
okay. So let us see assertion and region. So many students they get confused while solving the questions of assertion and region. So from your next objective exam, I will also be including the assertion and region questions. Okay. For assertion and region questions, see, for the following questions, two statements are given, one labeled assertion A and the other labeled region R. Select the correct answer to these questions from the codes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which one will be correct? Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Second one says both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of the assertion. Third says A is third option you have to choose if A is true and R is false. And last one, A is false but R is true. So to solve out this question, see what steps we follow. For question 7, you are given, see question 7, you are given the assertion and region. So first we read the assertion and we treat them as true and false. Okay. So our first step, we identify whether the given statement is true or false. So whether it is correct or incorrect, that is what we identify. So first we see assertion. It says friction increases with an increase in mass. So is the statement true or false?
I think true, sir, because we are not if
Mhm.
we are not able to move a heavy box, it is the reason.
Yeah, the region is mass. If you on the same surface, if you are pulling a lighter object, you'll be able to pull it, and if you pull a heavy object, it's difficult to pull. So the region is mass, and we have also studied this with an activity. So friction increases with an increase in mass. This is true. The second one is region. A rough surface has more irregularities than a smooth surface.
True, sir.
True. Yes, so both are true. And now just think that can it explain the assertion? Can the region explain assertion?
No, sir.
No. So which option should we choose? Option 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Two, sir.
2. Everyone got it correct? Anyone having any doubt in these questions?
No,
No, sir.
Okay, see question 8
Sir,
now.
no, sir. Like, could you just give me 1 second time, sir? Little up. Could you scroll, sir?
Okay, so these are the options given. Every time these are the options. Your first option says that if both A and R are true and region is the correct explanation of assertion, then only you will select option 1. Okay. If assertion is correct, region is also correct, but region does not explain the assertion, then you have to choose option 2. Okay. And option 3 is you have to choose if region assertion is true but region is false. The statements are false, not the region. The R statement is false, but A statement is true. Okay, so if you'll get one as true and the other one false, then you will be using option 3. And you'll use option 4 when you have A is false but R is true. So for question 8, see, we can leave question 8 right now since we have not done fluid friction. Okay, we can do question 10. See, question 10. Wheels are said to be one of the greatest inventions of mankind.
True,
So
sir.
what do you say? Should assertion? Yeah, assertion is true. And reason is wheels decrease friction and make the movement of things easier.
True, sir.
True, sir.
Yes.
True, sir.
And yeah. And is the region correct? Is the region correct explanation for assertion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So very good. You are all able to answer this. So these are the types of question. Assertion and region questions. They may be there in the objective type, whereas these questions they will be there in the uh, passage based questions. They will be in the subjective paper. Okay.
Sir,
Yes. Yes.
like where these questions appear?
They will appear in the assessment section. You can check the assessment.
Okay, sir.
And over there only you have to add it on. You have to solve and upload your answers.
For how many marks, sir?
This is for 30 marks.